All right. Question number 3. And I've reading this question ahead. I take exception to a couple things in this question. An unstoppable force meets an immovable object as Seattle's explosive offense comes crashing into Jacksonville's elite defense. First of all, in no way is Seattle's offense an unstoppable force. But I understand we have to say stuff like that to sell the question. But, they're like a pretty good offense.
They're number 3 in the league right now in scoring. I know it was an exaggeration, but I've been dying to use that expression.
Well, Russell Wilson's the number one quarterback in fantasy. I'll throw that to it too.
And Derek, and then the next part of the question, is Russell Wilson benchable? What the fuck are you talking about? He's the number one quarterback in fantasy. What about Baldwin, Graham, other wide receivers? I know you guys are the talent here, but I just look at that and I roll my eyes. It's like, who do you have on the bench that you're going to bench the number one quarterback in fantasy?
I agree. Nat, I've actually gotten this question like 3 or 4 times on Twitter.
Yeah,
so
same here.
People are asking. It seems ridiculous, and I'm on your side too. Like,
I assumed you were.
You're going down with the ship regardless. And plus, I think Russell Wilson, the reason he's such a good fantasy quarterback is he brings a lot more to the table than his wide receivers and just the throwing game. He's a great runner. He's got Jimmy Graham, who the Jacksonville Jaguars, if there's any position they're weak at defending in the air game, it's the tight end. And when I say weak, I mean relatively. They're still good against the tight end. It's not like they're bad against them. But the receivers, I am very nervous about. Doug Baldwin, I am very nervous about. I can see benching Baldwin, especially because, and we'll talk about some potential week winners a little bit later. Guys like Marquise Goodwin, D.D. Westbrook, some widely available guys that I think bring some explosive talent to the table this week. So do I bench Russell Wilson? No. The guy's been a top 5 quarterback in 5 of his last 7 weeks. Hasn't been below 19 points other than one time in that span of 7 weeks. So the guy's lights out. I know this is a great defense. I know they're elite. They're the best defense in the league. I get it. But at the end of the day, Russell's gotten you as far as he has, and you can't put him down on the bench. I don't know if you agree, Derek, or what your thoughts are. The questions were too, like McCown. Do I get Alex Smith is available? Smith was a little bit interesting. He's close when he's facing a bad Oakland defense, but it's Russell Wilson. You can't bench Russell Wilson, I say.
I mean, Smith lit up Oakland last time, and it looks like the Chiefs are going away from the run game, so that one's really close, I guess. And a lot of this has to do with what do you need for your team? Do you need huge upside? Do you need steady points? I mean, I have a hard time benching the number one quarterback in fantasy. I think you just roll him out there. Like, this is like saying, like, in a few years ago in past seasons, we've all kind of wrestled with the conundrum of Aaron Rodgers versus Seattle or tough defenses. And it's like, what the hell are you going to do? Of course you're going to play. It's freaking Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to follow that up with this statement. It's freaking Russell Wilson. He's the number one damn quarterback in fantasy. Hell no, you're not benching him. I don't care what you think. I don't care what the matchup is. He had a tough defense that he went against last week in Philly, and you saw him running for his life. That's what he's been doing all season. This dude has been creating and just making something out of nothing every single damn play. So can he do it for another week? You bet your ass he can. I absolutely believe he can.
Look, go ahead, Wolf. Go ahead.
I was going to ask one thing. I just have a weird belief and superstition in fantasy, team chemistry, and that if your team sees you bench your number one player, your guy that's gotten you that far, just because of a matchup, it just sends fear down the bench, and they play timid and they don't come out fired up. I feel like you gotta roll out your number one. The last time I made this argument was Deshaun Watson against Seattle this year. I said, not bench Deshaun Watson. He's your number one guy. He's gotten you this far, and your team will respond poorly if you put him on the bench. And what did he do? Had 35 points. So, I don't know about you, Derek, but I'm a big believer in fantasy team chemistry. Just like Nat, you can't control your team right now. The poor coaching over there.
Listen,
it's all these little side things are true.
He's saying that to me. He's saying that to me, Derek, because I have both Michael Crabtree and Rob Gronkowski, and who are just out of control completely. And he says that you look no further than the coach. But look, if you have managed to get the number one, this is way worse than the Watson thing. This is way worse because if you manage to have the number one quarterback in all of fantasy, and this is for the full season, not through 3 weeks like Watson or something like that, and you got the number one guy and you're in the playoffs and you bench him because he's playing a tough defense and you lose, you deserve it.